Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another thrilling edition of Bragging About Cinema. I remember when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and that was a property that I was not super familiar with. I hadn't read a lot of comic books with them in it. So here comes Shang-Chi, end of summer blockbuster from Marvel, another character taking a risk on because they're not as popular. And I'm here to tell you, wow. Now, before we begin, if you could do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, slide over and hit that notifications button, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say, give me the thumbs up, because this movie is going to be worth your time. Now, just for doing that, I'm going to give you a spoiler alert, Gambit Paw of approval, Shang-Chi and the Legends of Ten Rings. I'm just going to say it right now, I actually really loved the movie. I am a huge fan of the mixed martial arts, English voiceover movies. I used to watch them all the time as a kid. I'm also a huge fan of Awkwafina. I loved her in Crazy Rich Asians and The Farewell. So the comedic elements of a lot of Marvel films is something I kind of complain about. I thought they nailed the comedy perfectly in this movie. It wasn't too much in the middle of a severe battle scene where people just stop and take a minute to make jokes. I thought they were all well-timed, and they were genuinely really funny and not the cheesy action style that Marvel kind of has here and there. I also loved the origin story of Shang-Chi as he started out trying to be the guy that he wanted to prove his father that he was the best he could be, but really he's a perfect balance of his mother and his father. Another thing I really loved is the pace. It was a action movie when it needed to be, and actually slowed down quite a bit in the middle, and that's where the heart of the movie really grew. This is really a movie that's about a family that's splintered, kind of getting back together, getting to know each other, and coming together to fight this evil. And I don't want to spoil who the evil is for you. I really loved the visuals in the fight scenes, especially in the forest, the leaves going around, and the fighting action was top notch. They had a great scene where they were fighting on some bamboo scaffolding. That's something you don't see in the U.S. A couple areas I thought the movie could improve. I actually didn't really care for the 10 rings as much throughout the movie. I thought they were kind of cheesy. They did help with the more mystical elements of the movie. I thought you could almost do it without it until the mid-credits scene. I don't think the 10 rings actually shine until the mid-credits scene, so make sure you stay and watch that if you're going to see it. That one's the one that happens pretty quickly after the movie ends. Actually, there's an end of credits scene, and I feel like that is also worthwhile to stick out for future world building. But those are really minor complaints that don't take away from the actual movie. One thing I thought Marvel also did really well was they didn't spend the entire movie trying to build future movies. And in fact, at the end of the movie, it doesn't say Shang-Chi will be back. It says something else, and I'll let you see that for yourself. But I thought that was interesting that they haven't actually said if there's going to be a sequel or not. And I thought what they also did well was when they did some world building and did set up future installments, they waited for the very end, and both end credit scenes did that job for them. So I'm going to go ahead and recommend this. If you love Marvel movies, I think you're going to love this, although I think it's a lot different than what we've seen in the past. This is probably one of the best origin stories. I know for a while the origin stories felt like they're getting a little played out because they were always the weakest part of a trilogy. And I'm going to say this one's going to hold up well. If you like martial arts movies, you're going to like this. There is some mystical elements to this movie that is not really teased in the trailer. So if you like more fantasy style movies, I think you're actually going to like this as well. The Abomination cameo was pretty cool. And I hope that we see him again. He definitely looked a million times better than last time we saw him in Incredible Hulk. If you are sick of action movies, you might not like this. If you are looking for them to redeem the Mandarin character from Iron Man 3, I don't think you're going to like this. If you want the rings to be actual rings on their fingers, might turn you off. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give this movie a solid A. I liked it that much. The negatives were just minor complaints, and the positives, it took me on an adventure for 2 hours and 19 minutes, and I the worst part was it was over. I would have loved to see more, and I hope we get to see more of Shang-Chi in the future. Now, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. And don't forget, if you watch my videos, you're going to find something entertaining.